Maybe you're in a situation now where you're offended by something that happened to somebody else, and you're harboring that in your heart. It's creating hostilities or whatever in your heart. Well, the scriptures give us good advice about how we should really love one another. Well, greetings again. It's good to see you, and I'm glad you joined us today. I have a question for you today, and the question is this. Have you ever been offended by a wrong done to someone else? Something happened to somebody else. There was a perceived injustice of some sort, and to someone else, and you took it upon yourself and carried that injustice, and it created something in your heart that wasn't wholesome. Well, I'm sad to say that I did just such a thing. A number of years ago, a party in our church made an accusation against another party in our church. And the result of that was that the party that was accused left the church. Now that stuck in my craw for a number of years. And after all that time, I was talking about that incident with a couple of men from our church. And the quieter of the two listened nicely and said, "Fred, let it go. You need to let that go." Well, I'll tell you, that was like a punch in the gut, but I needed to hear that. I really did. Maybe you're in a situation now where you're offended by something that happened to somebody else, and you're harboring that in your heart. It's creating hostilities or whatever in your heart. Well, the scriptures give us good advice about how we should really love one another. So let's look at 2 or 3 scriptures right now. Here's the first one. Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. Covering the offense, not repeating it, praying about it. We've already talked about gossip, I believe, in these sessions, and so let's be on our guard about that. Here's another verse. Having purified your souls by obedience to the truth for a sincere brotherly love, love one another earnestly from a pure heart. That's challenging, but we're to love one another fervently, earnestly, with a pure heart. Here's another verse too. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly. There it is again. Since love covers a multitude of sins. We've been loved so much by God. We need to express and show that love to our fellow brothers and sisters, and even to the world for that matter. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're taking on someone else's offense, let's not do that. Now, we're not talking about offenses here that are done to you. There are scriptures that address those things, how we're to respond to that. This is not that. This is when I am offended by something that happened to you, and I carry it on. May God help us not to do that. Well, dear ones, that's all for today, and I trust that you will be thinking about this through the next days, and please share this with someone else if you feel so led. And in the meantime, we'll look forward to seeing you next week, the Lord willing. In the meantime, please take care. We love you. So long.